Ladies and gentlemen, what if the only thing standing between you and everything you've ever wanted was belief? Not talent, not timing, not even luck, just belief. The kind that ignores limits, defies fear, and dares to act as if anything is possible. Most people never find out what they're capable of, not because they lack potential, but because they've been trained to doubt it. But when you learn to believe, truly believe, as if the impossible is already within reach, something powerful happens. Your mindset shifts. Your energy changes. Doors begin to open, not because the world suddenly becomes easier, but because you start showing up differently. This isn't about pretending or hoping. It's about choosing to live as though success is already chasing you, not the other way around. And when you make that shift, you don't just imagine change, you become the change. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they've convinced themselves it can't be done. And once that belief settles in, they never truly try. But what if that belief is the only thing in your way? Consider what happens when you begin to act as if your goals are possible, even when fear lingers. Because once your mindset changes, everything else follows. One powerful idea is this: if the future already belongs to you, belief becomes your greatest asset. More powerful than talent or education, belief unlocks your true potential, which otherwise remains dormant, like a lion held in chains. Belief is not about wishing or hoping. It's the deep internal certainty that what you want is already within reach. When your belief becomes unshakable, when your thoughts and emotions align with your vision, you activate a force within that drives creation itself. Belief doesn't just shape your behavior, it reshapes your identity. It raises your sense of self until even the impossible gives way to your determination. Recognize this: most people drift through life with vague intentions. They wish for things to improve, they wait for change, hoping for a breakthrough, but they don't truly believe. There's a passage in Romans 4:17 that says, faith calls things which are not as though they were. That's more than poetry. It's a law of the mind. The person who behaves as if success is already theirs will always outperform the one who waits for proof. Belief comes first, evidence follows. Belief is what calls the evidence into existence. Take control of your thoughts. Train your mind. Discipline it. You must guard it fiercely, refusing to allow doubt, fear, or hesitation to take root. These are illusions, smoke and shadows that vanish the moment belief takes center stage. The world will tempt you to pause, to second guess, to settle, but you must stand firm. You must declare, I will not bargain with my purpose. Reality is not just what others observe, it's what you choose to make real. One example, someone born into scarcity believed from a young age that he was meant to build something great. He didn't wait for permission or recognition. He carried that vision in the way he spoke, walked, and worked. Even when his resources were minimal, he wasn't pretending. He was living a truth that already existed inside him. Eventually, the world caught up to that truth. So must you. Your belief is the seed. Your daily efforts are the water. Your persistence is the sunlight. Together, they produce results that may look miraculous to others, but you'll know they were always part of the plan. This isn't fiction. It's a principle. It's the same law that has lifted countless people from nothing to greatness. Nourish your belief. Feed it. Speak life into it. Visualize it. Act on it. Guard it from doubt, from delay, from negativity. Speak it into existence. Daily life vision question. When you feed it into your mind to give it form, this isn't no doubt that has lifted countless, because once your belief becomes unbreakable, no obstacle can withstand it, no challenge, no failure. Belief makes you unstoppable. And one day, when the world stands in awe of your success, you won't be surprised. You'll simply recognize it because you believed it long before they did. Train your mind to expect victory. Greatness cannot be achieved by those who anticipate defeat. That's not just a powerful thought, it's a spiritual principle. No one rises higher than the thoughts that dominate their mind. If you secretly expect to fail, you will. If you've already accepted defeat within, no amount of strategy can save you. A mind conditioned by fear and doubt, one that sees obstacles instead of openings, will quietly sabotage every opportunity. And this sabotage isn't loud or obvious. It hides in hesitation, in delay, in convenient excuses. You may label it caution or realism, but often it's fear in disguise. The encouraging truth? Just as the mind was trained to doubt, it can be retrained to expect success. The mind isn't fixed. It's fertile. It produces what you plant. Proverbs 23:7 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. This isn't poetic, it's foundational. Your mind is the engine room of your destiny. Whatever you feed it becomes your reality. Feed it fear, and you reap failure. Feed it faith, and watch possibilities unfold like the morning light after a long night. That's why each day must begin with mental ownership before the world gets its say. Declare your vision. Shape your inner world before external noise attempts to shape you. See yourself already victorious, walking through doors you once assumed were locked. Think from abundance, not lack. Speak about potential, not limitations. Expect good outcomes. Prepare for forward momentum. Do not allow a single negative image to dominate your imagination, because what holds your focus directs your future. Challenges will come. This is a given, but your perception must evolve. Challenges are not barriers, they're bridges. They don't say retreat, they serve as tests for the next elevation. Recall the story of a man who, during the Great Depression, rose from hardship to become a boxing world champion. Long before he won with his hands, he won with his mindset. He trained himself to believe in a comeback. He saw himself rising, even when the world expected him to stay down. That belief shaped the way he fought, endured, and showed up. He entered the ring already victorious in his spirit. Once you believe change is possible, life begins to reflect that belief. Circumstances adjust, people come into your life, doors open, not because they suddenly appeared, but because you've trained yourself to see them. Life begins to align when belief outweighs fear. That's not coincidence, it's consequence. You must become the architect of your internal world. Build a vision so vivid, so unshakable, that no temporary loss can damage it. Guard your thoughts with discipline. Watch over them like a gatekeeper. Don't let mediocrity or comparison settle in. Every day is a contest for belief, and every time you expect more, you elevate. Train your mind to expect growth, and growth will meet you. This is the practice of achievers. Victors, those who made history. They managed their inner climate, even when everything around them screamed failure. They imagined brightness under gray skies. They carried confidence in empty pockets. And because they believed differently, they lived differently. They lived differently. So ask yourself, what do you expect? When you close your eyes, what do you see? Do you see a future worth striving for? Then think in alignment with it. Speak in alignment, move in alignment. Refuse to give power to any version of reality that conflicts with your vision. Your life will always follow the course of your dominant thoughts. Victory doesn't visit the doubtful. It belongs to those who expect it, plan for it, and don't stop until it's real. If the current is already moving, believe and watch it carry you to places you once only imagined. Now act as if your goals are non-negotiable. Most people treat their goals like hopes, fragile ideas that fade under pressure, delay, or distraction. They say, I want, but rarely mean I will. They wait for the right time, a signal, or someone's approval. But you must live differently. If you're going to rise, if you want a life of significance and legacy, your goals must become firm, fixed, and final. They must become law in your world, not wishes, but declarations. Unbreakable commands you issue to yourself and the universe. And such a command must not return empty. You're not here to request permission from life. You're here to state your outcome and then pursue it with relentless conviction. Success is not handed to those who merely hope. It is secured by those who choose. Your mind must be made up so firmly, so completely, that even storms or setbacks can't shake you. Your commitment must burn like a fire, undeniable, unshakable, unstoppable. That's the force of creation. When Moses faced the sea, he wasn't told to wait. He was told to move forward. And only after he stepped did the waters part. It's the same with your life. The path doesn't appear before you move. It appears because you move. Most wait to see the whole staircase, but true power belongs to those who begin climbing with faith in every step. Don't delay. Act. Even when the road ahead looks like an ocean. One historical figure was born into hardship, the daughter of a washerwoman. Society had written her story, but she refused to read it. She rewrote her own. She didn't treat her dreams as possibilities. She treated them as certainties. She treated her dream as destiny. She moved with urgency, formed powerful alliances, and never stopped learning. There was no time for excuses, no room for doubt, and no space for the opinions of smaller minds. Her belief became her armor. Her goal became law. And now, you must do the same. Walk not as someone waiting for change, but as someone already stepping into the future they've decided on. Let your posture shift. Let your voice carry more weight. Let your eyes reveal a mind made up. When you speak, let it sound like certainty. When you act, let your steps echo with purpose. This is the path of those who build legacies. Many dreamers fall short, not because they dream too big, but because they believe too little. They treat goals like options, not obligation. But when a goal becomes law, you remove the back doors. There are no pauses, only progress, only fire, only finish. Write your vision deep within you. Etch it into your routines. Guard it with your time. Fuel it with consistent action. And you'll see doors open that logic can't explain. People will show up. Opportunities will unfold. Not because of luck, but because belief in motion attracts results. Make your goal your identity. Once it becomes part of who you are, no force can stop what's been set in motion. No matter how gifted or driven, no one can thrive in an environment filled with doubt. You could hold a vision powerful enough to move mountains, but if you plant it in toxic soil, it will wither before it ever blooms. Your environment is never neutral. It either lifts or limits you. It either nurtures belief or drains it. That's why you must guard your atmosphere as fiercely as a king guards his crown. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. Every word you hear, every opinion you consider, and every person you allow near affects your mental landscape, for better or worse. In Corinthians 15:33, we are warned, bad company corrupts good character. That's not just moral advice, it's strategic. The wrong people weaken your belief, but the right ones amplify it. The conversations you have today shape your actions tomorrow. Belief is not isolated, it is influenced by the company you keep. Choose your circle with intention. Surround yourself with visionaries, those who speak life into your goals, not those who hold you to your past. Be with people who fan your fire, not extinguish it. If those around you don't challenge your limits or draw out your strength, they're not allies. They're liabilities. One historical figure, born into slavery and hardship, rose to become a national voice in education and progress. He didn't get there on belief alone. He surrounded himself with mentors and leaders who reflected the future he saw. His rise wasn't an accident. It was a product of his environment. His circle demanded growth and reinforced his vision. You must be just as intentional. Audit your surroundings. If someone consistently brings fear, limitation, or negativity into your space, they're contaminating your potential. Remove them with love, but with firmness, then replace them with people who speak the language of possibility. Find those who dream bigger, act bolder, and carry faith in what's yet to be seen. Iron sharpens iron. Your belief will never reach its full power in isolation. You need voices that echo your goals. You need companions who say, let's go further when you feel like quitting. Because belief isn't just an internal fire. It grows stronger when others add fuel to it. Plant yourself in empowering spaces. Surround yourself with courage. Enter rooms where your dreams feel small, not because they are, but because those around you dream even larger. Your tribe multiplies your momentum. Their energy strengthens your resolve. Their expectations become your standard. And once you're rooted in the right environment, belief becomes natural. It doesn't have to be forced. It becomes your default. From there, no mountain is too steep. no goal too bold, because now belief doesn't just live in you, it lives around you. And collective belief moves faster than anything standing in its way. Your story isn't defined by what happened. It's defined by how you tell what happened. Every event, every setback, every closed door isn't who you are. It's the raw material that shapes who you become. Like any material, its value lies in how you use it. Most people carry their pain like a sentence. They replay it until it becomes their identity. But the great ones, the creators, the visionaries, they turn pain into power. They stop asking, why me, and begin asking, what now? Here's the truth. Your past is not a judgment. It's a classroom. Every mistake, every heartbreak, every delay wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you. In Genesis 50:20, Joseph tells his brothers, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That's not denial, that's dominion. That's the power to reframe your story and draw strength from it. Pain is not your enemy. It's the sculptor of your purpose. Stop rehearsing your pain. Start uncovering the purpose buried within it. If all you focus on is what you lost, you'll never see what you gained. Strength, perspective, resilience. These are the hidden treasures forged in struggle. Your story gains true strength when you stop telling it with sorrow and start telling it with wisdom. You weren't buried, you were planted. One iconic entrepreneur proved this principle. Before building one of the most recognized global brands, he spent years selling milkshake machines. Many would call that wasted time. He didn't. Every failed deal, every setback became preparation. He didn't curse his past, he used it. And when the right opportunity came, he was ready. Your setbacks don't disqualify you, they shape you, if you choose to learn from them. The past is not a weight, it's a design. Reread it with fresh eyes. Reclaim what it taught you. If you see every trial as punishment, you'll stay small. But if you see it as preparation, you'll walk forward with power. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are powerful people with purpose. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are the architect of what's next. Let your past be a weapon, not a wound. Let your scars remind you not of defeat, but of survival. Use your history as a platform, not a prison. The greatest leaders didn't rise because they avoided hardship. They rose because they learned how to transform it. They rose because they redeemed their pain. They gave new meaning to old experiences. They rewrote the narrative over past memories. And now it's your turn to do the same. Start by blessing your past. Speak life over it. Say, that shaped me, that trained me, that was necessary. Because when you choose to honor your past, your future opens with grace. The doors swing wide. The energy around you shifts. And you move forward not in regret, but with revelation. Your story is a sword. Wield it. Let your testimony stand as proof that pain was never the end. It was the beginning of your strength. Let every challenge become a tool to sculpt your belief. Because your belief is like a muscle. It does not grow in ease, but under pressure. Without tension, your faith remains untested and weak. It might sound impressive when spoken, but it holds no weight in real struggle. Like muscles that tear and rebuild stronger, belief must be pushed before it becomes durable. This is not punishment. This is preparation. James 1:2 reminds us, count it all joy when you face trials, knowing that testing produces endurance. Trials are not obstacles to destiny. They are the path to it. We must stop avoiding difficulty. Challenge is the training ground of the soul. Every hardship, every setback, every moment of delay is a weight. Lift it, and you grow. Let challenge carve away doubt. Let it shape your focus. Strip your excuses, define your core, and reveal your strength. The pressure you resist is often the very pressure meant to prepare you for greatness. When the world pushes back, push forward harder. When your plans collapse, rebuild with more clarity. The strength of belief isn't measured when everything is easy. It's proven when everything shakes. Faith that only works in calm waters isn't real faith. It's fantasy. But belief that stands through storms becomes unbreakable. Consider one historical figure who was born into slavery, orphaned, and denied opportunities at every turn. He had every reason to give up, but he didn't. He stayed focused. He studied the peanut, a small overlooked crop, and extracted over 300 practical products from it: paints, oils, medicines, and more. Where others saw limitation, he saw possibility. He turned adversity into advantage. And that's how you must see your own setbacks, not as signs of defeat, but as seeds of progress. When pressure shows up, let it press you into purpose. When time delays your dream, let it refine your patience. When resistance rises, sharpen your strategy. Each trial becomes a coach. Each hardship becomes a hammer. You become like steel, forged in fire. Your belief doesn't become unstoppable by avoiding hardship. It becomes unstoppable by enduring through it and rising stronger. The people who reach greatness are not those who walk the easiest path, but those who transformed resistance into power. They didn't just make it, they changed. So when life hits hard, don't step back. Let the obstacle become your workout. Let resistance be your new routine. You're not wasting time when things get hard. You're developing the very character your future requires. No structure stands tall without a strong foundation, and foundations are laid with force. Let every trial remind you of who you are becoming. Let every setback prove that belief is not soft, it is active, gritty, and persistent. You were not made to be crushed by life. You were made to conquer it. But only if you embrace the pressure that shapes you. Every delay is a setup for your return. Every opposition is a chance to evolve. When it's all said and done, the world should witness a version of you that only the fire could create. Because belief, when tested, becomes truth, and truth, once lived, becomes power. Speak with the voice of belief. Your words are not just sounds in the air. They are seeds that shape your future. Every sentence you speak either waters your belief or weakens it. Every word builds the house you will eventually live in. This isn't exaggeration, it's law. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Your words don't just describe your life, they define it. Yet most people speak carelessly. They complain, they doubt, they speak failure aloud and wonder why their life reflects fear instead of faith. But your speech reveals your belief. What you say often is what you believe deeply, and what you believe forms the framework of your future. Ask yourself, when you talk about your future, what tone do you use? Boldness or fear? When you speak about yourself, do you declare strength or surrender? You cannot build greatness with the language of limitation. Your words must rise to the level of your vision. Speak forward. Speak upward. One historical leader, long dismissed and underestimated, refused to let others define her. While some called her unqualified, she chose a different vocabulary. She spoke capability. She spoke purpose. She acted with confidence before anyone else believed in her. She used her words as foundation, as protection, as prophecy, and eventually the world followed her lead. You must do the same. Speak life over your future. Say, I am chosen. I am prepared. I am rising. Let those words become your rhythm. Let them echo until your actions reflect your declarations. Words never return void. They create the world they speak of. So speak with clarity, speak with confidence. Don't talk based on what you see. Talk based on what you've decided it will become. Speak what you want until you see what you've spoken. This isn't delusion, it's discipline. It's the sacred practice of calling things forth in faith. Just as Romans 4:17 says, God calls things that are not as though they were. This is how belief is strengthened. Not just through thoughts, but through speech. When you say, I am capable, you're not lying. You're conditioning. When you say, I am qualified, you're not faking. You're aligning. Words shape identity. Identity shapes outcomes. Reject limiting language. Remove phrases like, I can't or I never. Replace them with, I am learning. I am becoming. I am built for this. Speak as though heaven is listening. Speak like your words matter, because they do. You are not waiting for permission from the world. Your voice is your authority. Your tongue is your pen. Your words are your prophecy. What you declare consistently becomes what you live eventually. Let today be a turning point. From careless speech to commanding presence, from reaction to intention, from self-doubt to self-direction. Because when your words rise, your world cannot stay the same. Speak with power, speak with direction. Keep speaking until what you say becomes what you see. Set your vision in stone, but let your path be fluid like water. There is a difference between the destination and the direction. The vision must remain fixed, bold, clear, and unwavering. But the path to reach it must stay flexible. Too many confuse the two. When one plan falls apart, many abandon the dream altogether. When a single door closes, they assume the vision was flawed. But destiny doesn't unfold in a straight line. It twists, bends, and demands resilience. Your ability to adjust is what determines how far you'll go. The path may shift, but the promise remains. The Israelites were given a clear destination, the promised land. That part never changed. But their journey was filled with deserts, delays, unexpected battles, and turns they never anticipated. They wandered, they adapted, they grew, and through it all, the destination remained unchanged. That's the lesson. Your method may need to change 100 times, but your goal should remain fixed. If one road is blocked, find another. If a door slams shut, knock elsewhere. If the map tears, draw a mutant. But never stop aiming for the treasure. One figure in history exemplified this perfectly. He began life in a factory, earning just a few dollars a week, but he didn't let that define him. He climbed through learning, strategic alliances, and sheer adaptability. When one path failed, he didn't stop, he shifted. He didn't treat closed doors as ends. He saw them as redirections. His goal was excellence. His method was fluid. That's the mindset you must adopt. Learn to bend without breaking. A tree that won't bend in the storm will snap, but the one that moves with the wind stays standing. That's how you remain rooted through change. Vision requires strength, but your strategy needs flexibility. The world keeps evolving. What once worked may no longer serve you. A skill that once gave you the edge might now be outdated. Wisdom is knowing when to let go of a broken plan. Don't mistake a detour for a defeat. Just because you've taken the long road doesn't mean you've lost your way. Sometimes the long road is the exact route you needed. It's not about how direct your path is. It's about how determined your spirit stays. Keep your eyes locked on the peak, even if the trail disappears beneath your feet. When you can't see ahead, vision becomes your compass. Build with conviction, but walk with humility. Be ready to change methods, not missions. Change your tactics, not your target. Stay rooted in your why, even as the how keeps evolving. This is how champions operate. Clear in purpose, flexible in process. Flexibility isn't weakness, it's intelligence in motion. It's strength that knows how to adjust. The greatest mistake you can make is clinging to a failed strategy just to save face. Don't let pride chain you to a path that no longer works. Be willing to reassess, shift, rebuild, not because your dream is over, but because you're smart enough to evolve with your journey. Remember this always. Your strategy serves your vision, it doesn't own it. Let your dream be your mountain, solid and unmovable. Let your plan be your river, flowing and adaptable. However winding the road becomes, never lose sight of where you're going. Hold your vision steady. Let your approach remain flexible. That's how you'll arrive, stronger, wiser, and right where you were always meant to be. Own your power to choose completely. Everything begins not with your circumstances, but with your decisions. Too many wait for perfect timing, for the right mood, for ideal conditions. But life doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards those who move with clarity and boldness. In Deuteronomy 30:19, it says clearly, I've set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life. This isn't advice. It's a declaration of your authority, because choice is the steering wheel of destiny. Where your life goes next is not up to fate. It is directed by the decision you make now. Most people don't fail due to lack of talent. They fail because they never fully committed. They hesitate, they second guess, they leave themselves too many exits. But indecision, though it seems safe, is the slowest path to self-destruction. Every time you delay a decision, you bury potential. Every postponed dream is a seed that never breaks the surface. Your future isn't waiting for conditions to align. It's waiting for you to decide. Every excuse you accept becomes another brick in the wall standing between you and your future. But everything shifts the moment you truly decide. That single decision becomes your point of power. It's the moment when momentum sparks, when energy builds, and when the world around you begins to respond, not to chance, but to your clarity and conviction. It's not about having all the resources. It's about having resolve. The world makes way for the person who moves with purpose. One historical figure demonstrated this with unmatched courage. Though born into unthinkable oppression, she didn't wait for conditions to change. She moved with conviction. She risked her life again and again for the sake of others. Her decision didn't just change her story. It planted seeds of freedom for generations to come. That same power to choose lies in you now. Choose the standard you will live by. Choose the line you will no longer cross. The level of excellence you will hold yourself to. Choose the direction of your life, where you're headed, and what's worth devoting yourself to. Eliminate the excuses. Cast aside the voice that says not yet. Let this be the moment you stop hesitating and start becoming. Once you decide, the world rearranges. Resources that were hidden appear. Doors that were closed start to open, not because everything outside changed, but because you did. Your decision shifts your energy. You stop entertaining doubt. You begin acting with certainty, and that certainty carries influence. Don't overlook this. Indecision is the enemy of destiny. It robs you of momentum, weakens your confidence, and keeps you circling when you were meant to advance. But decision brings clarity, and clarity accelerates progress. The moment you choose with finality, your habits, relationships, and surroundings begin to realign. Don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for the right feeling. Decide now. Decide who you are. Decide what you're here to do. Decide what future you're building. And then let your words, your steps, and your presence confirm it. Lives of greatness don't emerge from chance. They are forged in decision. The turning point is always the moment someone says, I choose now. That moment holds more power than decades of indecision. Once you make that choice, your life will begin to follow your lead. So choose decisively, choose with courage, choose with fire, choose life, and do not look back. You were never meant to crawl. You were born to rise. Inside you is more than biology or breath. There is a sacred purpose, a divine assignment woven into every season of your life, waiting for you to say yes. As one ancient promise declares, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future. These are not idle words. They are declarations from eternity about your significance. You are not here by accident. Your life is not random. You are a vessel of purpose, crafted with precision and launched into the world for a reason. Life may have tried to limit you. People may have overlooked you, but destiny knows your name. Your moment is not on the horizon. It's here. Walk like someone carrying purpose. Let your presence announce that you were born for more. Speak as if your words carry the weight of your calling, because they do. Don't let fear or rejection water down your message. Move like someone whose moment has arrived, because it has. Consider one remarkable life that defied all odds. She had no sight, no hearing, but she had vision, and she refused to be silenced. She didn't wait for opportunity. She created it. She believed she mattered, and because she did, the world began to believe it too. You must carry that same belief. Your voice is not insignificant. Your voice is not irrelevant. You don't need permission to rise. The dream inside you is sacred. Guard it. Grow it. Let it breathe. All the detours, all the delays, they were part of the preparation. Nothing has been wasted. You must hold on to that truth. Your time is not someday, it is now. The moment you step forward with conviction, something shifts. Seen and unseen forces begin to align. The world takes notice. You send a clear signal that you remember who you are, that you were never meant to live in fear or stay in the shadows. You were born to rise, and rise you will. So ask yourself, What would change if you believed fully and without hesitation that anything was possible? What if doubt was no longer your default setting and belief became your new foundation? Because the truth is, your life will never rise higher than the thoughts you allow, the vision you carry, and the belief you protect. When you learn to believe as if no limitation could stop you, the world begins to respond, not all at once, but in quiet shifts, new doors, unexpected turns. Possibility starts with perspective. And when that perspective is rooted in conviction, not fear, transformation becomes inevitable. This isn't just motivation, it's a call to action. Believe like it's already yours. Think like the breakthrough is already happening. Act like the future you've imagined is unfolding in real time. Because when you learn to believe as if anything is possible, that's exactly when everything begins to change.